Moving on to question 2. In this question, we're looking at factorization. Factorization. It says factorize the following expressions completely. Now, to factorize a expression, what we do is look for the highest common factor among the two terms. Now, the highest common factor among 5h squared and 12hg, that's going to be clearly the highest common factor is h. So we're going to factor out h, and we're left back with, when we factor out h from here, we're left back with 5h minus, when we factor out h from here, we're left with 12g. And so when we factorize it, the answer is h times 5h minus 12g. Now, if you were to multiply h times all of this, you get back the original answer. And that is how you know you're right. All right, so first you have to identify the highest common factor amongst the two terms. And then you factor out that highest common factor. All right, easy question, soft. Now let's look at part 2. Now part 2 is asking us now to look at this right here, 2x squared minus x minus 6. So we're given a quadratic to factorize, a quadratic expression. Whenever you are asked to find a quadratic or factorize a quadratic expression, what you're required to do is split the middle term. All right, and there's a specific procedure in how we split the middle term. You're going to ask yourself which two numbers, when you multiply them, which two numbers that when you multiply them, you're going to get the product of the coefficient of x squared and the constant. When you add them, you get the coefficient of the x term. So what we're saying is, we generally call the coefficient of x squared a, and the constant c. So a times c is equal to negative 12. And b you call the middle term, and b is equal to negative 1. So we are asking ourselves, which two numbers, when we times them, we get negative 12, but when we add them, we get negative 1. From these two, it appears to be negative 4 times 3, because negative 4 times 3 will give us the negative 12, and the negative 4 plus 3 will give us negative 1. So what are we saying? What we're saying then is step 1 is complete. To factorize this expression, we're going to rewrite that middle term minus x now as this minus x. We change it, let me do it in a different color, to minus 4x plus 3x. That is what we do. We change it to minus 4x plus 3x. So that is what we do. And then we have minus 6. All right. Now, once you get to this part, now we've now converted it from 3 terms to 4 terms. Now we know how to factorize normally. We know how to factorize among 2 terms. So now we just need to identify the highest common factor among the first 2 terms and the highest common factor among the next 2 terms. Among these 2 terms, the highest common factor seems to be 2x. And factoring out 2x, we're left back with 2x squared divided by 2x. That will just leave me with x minus 4x squared divided by 2x. That leaves me with 2 plus the highest common factor among 3x and minus 6, that looks like positive 3. So I factor out positive 3, and I'm left with x minus 2. Now, all you need to do now is simplify this right here. Just go ahead and simplify it. So simplifying it, we're getting, you can factor out x minus 2 from these two expressions, and it's going to be x minus 2 times 2x plus 3. And this is how you factorize this quadratic expression. Very easy question, nice and easy and soft. Lovely. And that completes the first part, part A of question 2. So part A is just dealing with factorization, nothing major. All right. Now, this question now, this is known as a linear equation. So looking at linear equation now, and linear equation, in this linear equation question, we're asked to solve r plus 3 times r minus 5. So let's do that. So we have r plus 3 is equal to, the first thing is, anytime you see a bracket, bracket means multiplying. So we're multiplying r minus 5 times 3. So expand the bracket to get 3r minus 3 times minus 5. 3 times minus 5, that's minus 15. So r plus 3 is equal to 3r minus 15. Now the next thing that you are required to do is you want to have everything on one side. What do I mean by having everything on one side? You want to have your r on one side and the number on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract r from both sides. Subtracting r from both sides, we're going to have 3 is equal to 2r minus 15. All right, we subtracted r from both sides. So let me put it in blue. Let me put it in blue, that we subtract r right here and we subtract r right here. So we subtract r from both sides. All right, so r minus r, that cancel. 3r minus r is 2r. Next thing we need to do is get rid of this 15. So we add 15 to both sides to get 18 is equal to 2r. 18 is equal to 2r. So just to put it in blue right here, we add 15 to both sides. When you add 15 to both sides, what's going to happen is minus 15 plus 15 cancel with each other. This part becomes 0, and so they apparently cancel each other. And then what you're left back with is 15 plus 3 is 18. And so what we get then is, we divide both sides by 2. We divide both sides by 2. 2 over 2, that cancel. And so r is equal to 18 over 2, which is 9. So that gives us the solution for r. r is 9. Anytime you finish, check your answer. Just check it. Just check it. Check it. Always check your answer. All right, so you can put r as 9 right here, and 9 plus 3. 9 plus 3, you need to determine if 9 plus 3 is equal to the same as 3 times 9 minus 4. And 9 minus 5 is 4. All right, so is this the same? Is 9 plus 3 the same as 3 times 4? Yes, so this is how your answer is correct. When you put 9 in here, you get 9 plus 3. That's the left-hand side. When you put 9 here, you get 9 minus 5 is 4. 3 times 4, and that's good. So they're both true. So the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. And that's a linear equation. Very easy. Now, part C. Part C now, we're going to look at this question. It says, make K the subject of the formula. So this topic in CSEC mathematics is known as transposition. So we're looking at transposition right here. So 2a is pi times k squared plus 3t. So if we're doing this question, it's very easy. To do this question, what we're required to do first and foremost is to make k the subject, we need to have k on one side. So let's get rid of this 3t. To get rid of the 3t from the right-hand side, we're going to have to subtract 3t from both sides. So we'll get 2a minus 3t is equal to pi k squared. So that's the first step. You get rid of that 3t, pi k squared. Now the next thing to do is we want to get rid of this pi. So we're going to divide both sides by pi in order to get rid of this pi from the k squared. So we're going to get 2a minus 3t, and that is being divided by pi, and that's going to give us k squared. This is going to be equal to k squared. All right, that will give us k squared. The next issue that we have right now is that we're going to need to be able now to make k the subject. Now, if k squared is this, all we need to do to get rid of the square, we square root both sides. All right, think about it this way. If I told you that r squared is equal to 25, you tell me that r is 5, don't it? But why is r equal to 5? R is not just equal to 5. We got 5 by square rooting 25. All right, that's how we actually got what is r. So what we're saying then is to find k, we just need to square root both sides. Once we square root both sides, we're going to get what k is. So let's square root both sides to get k is equal to the square root of whatever is 2a minus 3t over pi. And that is k. And that's how we make k the subject of the formula. Nice and easy, soft, with a capital T. This question, soft. We write that, soft. Too easy. Soft, with a capital T. Nice. Now that we've completed this question, is this it? Now we have part D. Now part D is an inequality question, because clearly it says write two inequalities. So this is an inequality question. So let's do this question. It says a farmer plants 2 crops, potatoes and corn on a 10-hectare piece of land. The number of hectares of corn planted is C, must be at least twice the number of hectares of potatoes P. Write two inequalities. Now listen what this question said. It said the number of hectares of corn planted C, it says C, Afi, must be mean Afi. So C, Afi be twice. So C, Afi double the number of potatoes. So the first inequality is that they're telling us the corn Afi double number of potatoes. So corn is equal to 2p. That's all they're saying. All right, that's the first thing. Let's look at the next equation now. It says, oh, well, it shouldn't be equal to its inequalities. All right, so don't put equal. It says it have to be at least twice. At least means it's greater than or equal to. So it can be equal to, but it's actually greater than or equal to. So the number of corn is greater than or equal to twice the number of hectares of potatoes. So C is greater than or equal to 2p. That's the first one. Now, second one, it says he planted 2 crops, right? Potatoes and corn on a 10-piece acre of land. On what? 10-piece acre of land. So that means what they're telling us then is that the potato plus the corn, when you add how many acreage it's going to be, it has to be less than or equal to 10 because it's a 10-acre land. Maybe he utilized 8 of the acres for potatoes and corn, and there's 2 free acres to do something else later on. But all we know is that it has to be less than or equal to 10 because he only has a 10-acre piece of land. All right? Maybe he's leaving an acre for something. Or maybe use all 10 acres for potatoes and corn. So that's the second inequality, that the potato plus the corn, the acres that you use for these two, it has to be less than or equal to 10. All right? It can't be bigger than the yard space or the land space. All right? Easy question. Those are the two inequalities. So, and that completes question 2.